matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
On first down, Barnett. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Wentz. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. A look at the starters down the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season. But if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's got his man Hilton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. The numbers a week ago for Michel. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just 1-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped off a few long jaunts as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wentz. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. Second down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On the ground, Michel. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of...
Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Barkley on first down, going to work his way forward, only for about a couple there. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
97's the mic. Silver. 97's the mic.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that will lead to 3rd down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I missed him, it would have been a long night.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL. but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
Hey, orbit.
56 is the mic.
Hey, go.
He'll drop to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
I'm here all day.
On first down, Wentz got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wentz again. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Barnett. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Following the penalty, Michel. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers. From the 31, Wentz. Complete to Hilton. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing is Wentz. And the catch made by Hilton. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That pass play good for 7. but it still brings up a 4th and goal. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots to the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know,
the ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw is Wentz. He's going to float this one deep. It's caught at the 10. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 44 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 45 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Wins. This one caught by Isabella. And a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
New York set to take the field. And they're the recipient of a nice gift here late in the half with a real chance to put points on the board.
And it's been a difficult half for them in terms of putting points on the board. So here with this gift, with this opportunity, they've got to find a way to cash it in.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Check 3, check 3. Hey, we got tight left.
Hey!
97's the mic. All day, Paul. 97's the mic. 97.
Five. Shoot!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This is taken at the 3. Fights off the defender. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 34.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught. It's Coleman. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Go! 10-2 stop.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Cowboys who are out in front. Dak Prescott lighting it up. He's got 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Curtis Samuel, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Willie Snead, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
56, Mike.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. They'll set up to throw. Completes it to Coleman. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now Saquon Barkley. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is up to 18 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A good pickup there, a 22. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing on first is Wentz. That ball complete to Isabella. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On play action, it's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your pro? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Childress. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
70, Indy.
97's the mic. 92.
2nd and 14. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
97's the mic.
He'll look to throw. Got a man, Slayton. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Go. 30 base.
Go.
Hey, Sam off. Hey, Alpha. Go.
Looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
On first down, Wentz looking for his running back, and he's got him. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From midfield, here's Wentz. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Isabella. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And now it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
97's the mic. That's right, baby. They don't want it. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. Don't get nervous. 97's the mic. 97's the mic.
Get it.
2nd and 10. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
97's the mic. 97's the mic.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Get set.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
97's the
Hey,
mic.
back up.
That's good. For our Giants,
97's the mic. 97's the
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
You ready? Hey, exit.
You think you won't get this?
Five.
They'll drop the throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Rosas now to add the PAT. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. A 10-play drive that time. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
And now this is Hilton on the receiving end. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one caught by Isabella. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Wentz now on first down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
this defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Michel on an island by himself in the backfield, 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. On 2nd and goal, Wentz looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that will shave one more off this lead. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, it looked like the Eagles got this back. Yes, Philadelphia football. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
19 yards there on the catch and run. To throw, it's Wentz.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number 1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Back to throw here. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll drop to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. All you get it.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
Here we go. 50 plant.
56. Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Hey, orbit.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
Right there.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.